So, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching in the world and what time of day it is when you're watching this on replay. So, welcome to the UK and Europe Super Patch call, where we have the inimitable Paul Austin, who's going to present us today with the information about super patches. And first of all, he's going to tell his story about why he invested a lot of his life and energy into these silly little patches, which, on the face of it, seem a bit crazy. But anyway, Paul, on that note, I'll hand over straight to you, and you can lead us through the presentation today. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much, Stuart, and welcome everybody to the call. Some of you, it's nighttime. They're probably around 8, 9 p.m. Here it's 3 p.m. Eastern in Canada. It is kind of a holiday Canada Day, but with the Super Patch Company, there's never a holiday. There's only another day to share what we have with more people, and it's even more people we get to hang out with because it is Canada Day and there's activities and events going on. And tomorrow in the States, it's Independence Day. So, and then in Europe, UK, I don't even know when I need more education on this, when your holidays are, but you know how that all fosters, coming together and enjoying and celebrating. So, again, we appreciate you jumping on here, taking some time out. So my name again is Paul Austin. I am in Canada. I have been with I'll call it the Super Patch Company. That's what it's called now. But I was one of the original people back when it first opened. I actually knew about the company 7 months before the doors opened. So in saying that, I have to kind of backtrack. And I'm going to sort of talk about the technology before and where it is now. So when I first started with the company, I was introduced through the socks, but this is actually the original product. So this is an insole, incredibly well made, very versatile. It's got support, all these great things, but the technology was right here. This is just showing you the area it's in, but it's actually on the top because it affects the metatarsal part of the foot. So Jay was able to figure out a pattern that would instantly change your balance, strength, stability, range of motion. It would touch on people's sleeping patterns. It would touch on anxiety. It was a multi-purpose kind of pattern. And it was very difficult to figure out how to put it in this through different densities of foam and things like that. So then the company, the person, his name is Terry Saint Amand, introduced me to this. And I was in Texas, and I was actually at a hotel, a conference, and my friend said, good friend of mine, and he said, did you want to see some magic? And I thought, sure. I mean, okay. I thought he's going to pull out a deck of cards. I don't know what he's going to do. Well, he ended up doing this and pulling out a pair of socks. And then he pointed to this right here. And he said, this is just a sock. This is the vessel. This carries the technology to the body, just like the insole did. It was the vessel that brought the tech. Very comfortable and all that. These are very well made, the best socks in the world, I will say that. And the tech was woven in. So this was very hard and complex for Jay to figure out how to put this tech in here. So you can imagine me thinking, okay, magic socks, like what's going on here? So sure enough, he took me aside and he said, look, I need you to stand in a certain position, stand up nice and strong and straight, make a straight arm, don't let your elbow unlock, make a fist. And as I'm lifting up, I need you to push down. I need you to like meet my resistance. So sure enough, he came beside me. I put my fist down, and as he lifted, that was it. I went off to the side very simply. So then he said, stand here like this. And what that other test was lateral stability. So he's trying to show me the difference once we do the test again of getting in and out of the bathtub, in and out of the car, all those different movements. Then he did a dynamic stability, which was a fist on a fist. I stood nice and strong. I put my feet together, and then he pushed down on my fists. He just pushed straight down. And as he pushed straight down, my heels came up and I started falling towards him. And he didn't do it to the point where I fell on top of him, but he showed me, look, see how quickly that happened. So I was kind of thinking, well, that makes sense that would happen. Like you're pushing down on me. I'm off balance. Isn't that just the norm? And then sure enough, he said, okay, now let's do that again. And I said, oh, okay. So sure enough, I put these socks on, and that's what I had to do prior to the next test. So he put the socks on. I stood there. I did the exact same motion. He came up beside me. I was like, this is ridiculous. And all of a sudden he's lifting, and I can see he's getting red in the face. And this is me. I haven't even budged. And he's lifting and lifting. And I'm looking at him going, come on, like, you're just pretending. I can go, oh, and do that all day long. Well, sure enough, I kind of went, okay, well, sure felt like you were lifting. So then I did this one. So I went here again, put my feet together. I thought, come on. So now he pushes down on me, and this is me. I'm like standing there. He's not moving me. And I bet you he could have just climbed up onto my shoulders and changed a light bulb. I mean, that's how significant it was. So at that point, I was kind of like, wow, that one was kind of interesting, but still something's up here. Like someone's jumping out of a closet and I'm being punked, although, I don't know. I'm confused. So I just said, okay, now, even though this is my good friend and I should trust him, I need someone else. So I got another person that was there, this girl that was with us. She came over and I said, look, I'm going to show you something. I don't know what's going on here, but just trust me. So I did the first test to her. The exact same thing that happened to me. So then I said, okay, put these socks on. And she was kind of confused and she did it. And then I couldn't budge her, no matter what I did, no matter what happened. And all I did was look over in the corner and I saw my buddy snickering and laughing to himself because he's like, I'm way over here. You just did it, not me. So when he was out of the equation, I knew that this was something that was beyond anything I could ever imagine. I knew that it had to be something special. He did tell me that the company wasn't open. We had to keep it under wraps. We couldn't go and tell the whole world, which is exactly what I wanted to do at that point. I just wanted to go around and demo everyone because I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And keep in mind, at that point, I thought this was for sport. I thought it was okay, increased, strength, balance, stability, all these things could, help in more in sport in my mind. Well, I didn't know what was about to happen because it turned into people with MS benefiting, people with diabetes, people with low energy that had terrible balance, that had walkers, canes. I mean, the list went on and on. So at that point, I knew that, okay, I cannot wait till the doors open with this because I want to share this with the world. So what ended up happening? Well, oh, sorry, guys. I knew that was going to happen because I have something in my screen I can't get rid of. And I don't know why that's even happening. Just bear with me so I can wipe this out. Sorry about that. And I have no idea what's happening here. It should be just changing the slide for, oh, and you know what? Oh, silly me was at the end of the document and it has the exact same slide. And that's what I love about this. Nothing scripted. I say this opportunity meeting different every time. So that's okay. I love when this stuff happens. It means we're human. So in saying all that, what's important is this quote, let's go invent tomorrow instead of worrying about happened yesterday. So this is yesterday. And there's a reason I'm saying that is because now Jay has figured out how to put that technology in these patches. Very simple, no drugs, no ingredients. They're FDA registered. We have peer-reviewed published studies. So why would we keep selling an iPhone 6 when we can sell an iPhone 15, even if I don't even know if that's out yet, but it's close to it, where the benefits are better, quicker, faster. It just makes sense. And look how easy this is now. Look how many of these you could store somewhere. It is just such a simple concept. And we have 11 different patches. So we're not dwelling on, as how we built the company. That's all how we got to build this incredible foundation to get to the point of being able to now offer everybody specific solution as opposed to this all-encompassing solution. So why do we want to be in this industry? It's very simple. It's a $2 trillion business. There's companies that are actually, I think it was Apple that just surpassed this incredible milestone that no one's ever seen before the other day in what their company is actually worth. But when you look at the abundance that we have, whether it's all these companies worth trillions and trillions, that is there for the taking. Look at AI and all these things that are coming. They're starting to take over, and that's why our patches are now taking over. People want drug-free solutions. They look at how connected our world is now. We're sitting here looking at each other where I can see you guys on a screen. I can see this screen and you guys can see the screen. And oh my gosh, I couldn't imagine if it was back in the day trying to tell people about these on a fax machine. I mean, I don't even know how that would come across to people. So when things have innovated, we have to grab hold of it and move forward with it. That's the key. So any sufficient advancement in technology is indistinguishable from magic. And what I want to say is I've went on and on and on about how great these are and how amazing these are and all that stuff. And some of you probably aren't impressed. You're not really that impressed by it because you kind of don't really know what it is. But guess what? Put this on your arm and experience it, because that is everything. I've had so many people, and then they finally put this on, one of them, whichever one that is, and they can't believe they waited so long, especially because you get a 25% off offer if you're a first-time new customer, and you also have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you have everything to gain. Every single thing you could possibly gain can happen from these patches. You just have to be open to give them a go. And they're the most affordable things that there are. So instead of me sitting here trying to tell you how this works or why this works and all that fun stuff, I'm not a scientist. I don't need to be. I don't need to be an expert. All I have to do is share the tools. And this is a good friend of mine since we've, built the business from the ground up. He's become a very incredible friend of mine. He's my bro. He's my, my mentor. He's just an incredible man. And he is the one that has invented this. And he did this for his mom, who had MS as a young boy. She got MS in 1983. He was only 13 years old. And he went on a journey himself to discover, what can I do to help my mom? And he studied neurology for 30 plus years on his own. So listen to what he has to say, and it will make a lot more sense to you.
Hi, everyone. It's Jay with Super Patch. I hope everyone's having a great day. People are always asking me, Jay, how do these super patches work? So today I'm going to give you guys a high-level explanation. So first things first, every physical, emotional, psychological function has a corresponding neuron in our brains. And these neurocodes, which are just messages, sometimes get stuck or damaged for 1,000,001 reasons, but that leads to poor health, poor wellness, and even poor performance. So after 12 and a half years of research at Super Patch, we actually decoded these messages. We decoded the neural code that can help and control the neural function of physical, emotional, and psychological function. So every single super patch has a pattern and ridges in it. And when these ridges come in contact with our skin, the patch uses the receptors in and on our skin to send that message to our brain. And the brain decodes it. So every single super patch is generating a very specific signal that's responsible for a physical, emotional, or psychological function. And that's how the super patches work. So all 8 super patches have their unique QR code that's sending a unique message that our brain codes. And that's why we can help with so many wellness, performance benefits that people are seeing. So till next time, you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.
So that's, it in a nutshell, like a QR code. So remember, we get our phone and we scan something on the TV or in the paper or whatever it is, and it instantly takes that complex code and it decodes it, and it sends you to a website or to a form or to wherever it is. And that's kind of powerful in the way that works. And do I know how that works? I don't have a clue. Do I know how these patches work? I don't have a clue. Do I know how aspirin works? I don't have a clue. Do I know how most things work? I don't. Do I know how Zoom works? This computer works, an iPhone works? Why would I? It works. it hasn't been invasive to me. It works. It benefits me. Why would I even bother going beyond that? And that's what people need to do, is be more open to different things, because the people's needs these days are they want to be able to handle pain and manage it better. They want to help their energy. They want better brain health. They want help with their cognition because they could have some brain fog going on. People have terrible mobility, so many different people. Their risk of fall, they are stressed. It goes on, and that's on a wellness side. And on performance, everyone's trying to look for that performance edge. They're looking for more power, strength, endurance, all those things, a competitive advantage. And there's no doping, there's no drugs, there's no ingredients. You cannot get in trouble if you're in sport or athletics, no matter what level. If you want a better performance, you use one of these patches. It's that simple. But what are the solutions? The solutions are drugs. And we know how that works. Well, you got to take this drug, and then this might happen, and it happens a lot. So we're going to give you this other pill that'll combat those side effects. And then there's just one more, because then the third one to mask the second one's problem. And I've seen it all, guys. I got friends walking around like zombies because it's meds, meds, meds. And guess what? Meds pay doctors' bills, and that's all they know what to offer. And can I blame them? It's just the way the universe has sort of set them up. But a lot of them are now realizing, whoa, wait a second here, this is getting out of hand and crazy. I'm now open to other alternatives. So holistic and all those different things are starting to really take precedent, because we're sick of being given poison. I'll call it poison. It's not good. There's some that are okay and need, and we have to have them. And I totally get it for survival. I'm not saying that they're all horrible, but it's the horrible stacking of all these things that really puts things offside. So we have ineffective solutions today, and we have, over the counter stuff and all this, and none of it's really helping. And here we have something that is drug-free. It's instant and effective, easy to use, non-invasive, non-reactive, child-safe, pregnancy-safe. You don't have to change your lifestyle. You don't have to change your diet. And it's affordable for all. I see people complaining about the cost of gas as they're drinking the gas is, let's call it $4 a gallon. I have no idea what it is where you guys are. I know it's out of hand all over the world, but yet they're complaining about it as they're drinking a $30 a gallon Starbucks. So $4 a gallon gas, I'm complaining, and I have a $30 a gallon Starbucks in my hand as I'm complaining. So when you talk about affordability, no one has what we have at what we offer it at. So let's just take a look at Lois. This is mind-blowing. This is her after she's used the Liberty patch. Look at what happens to her walking up and down the stairs. Truly remarkable.
Last July, I woke up one day and couldn't walk. It came completely out of the blue. My children had to come and help me get out of bed. And I've had a problem with my right leg ever since then. I've tried all kinds of things, magnets, far infrared, lotions, potions, medications, physiotherapy, oils. And since we don't have a main floor bedroom in our house, this is how I was having to walk up the stairs. Four weeks ago today, I started using the Freedom and the Liberty patches from the Super Patch Company. And this is how I walk up the stairs now. I'm very grateful.
And you could see that she is very grateful. Who wouldn't be grateful for that? That is I've witnessed so many things like this, and that's why I do this. And that's why a lot of people are doing this to help the world. So we have solutions for pain, for sleep, for stress. And this one is crazy. This is for your blood. It cleans the blood. It makes sure it has all the right oxygen around the blood cells. And I'm going to show you something here. This is before wearing it. You can see the distorted blood cells. They're stacked on top of each other. They don't have a lot of oxygen around them. Somebody was taken out of the crowd. A patch was put on them. They took the blood sample 30 minutes later after having the patch on, and look what happens. Round, perfect blood cells with all the oxygen around them. This is what you want to see, and it's even going to get better as time goes on. So this is something that I can't feel. I don't have allergies. I don't have trouble breathing. I don't have a lot of things like that, but I know it does this. So I put it on and I never take it off. I always replace it every single day. Why wouldn't you? Look at that. That's just some things you can't feel. And that's called prevention. And we can't feel prevention. So we also have this patch. This is the one you just saw Lois have. It's balance, strength, stability, range of motion. That was proven right there on the spot. Flow for ADHD, ADD, all these cognitive issues people have. We have a victory patch for sport. This is power, strength, endurance, recovery, all those great things. There's one for focus, to focus in on the issue. There is one for burning calories at rest. So at a resting metabolic rate, you're going to burn 25% more calories with this patch on, and a ton more if you're actually doing something. There's the Kick It patch for bad habits, and the Joy patch to bring a smile back, to get you out of that, negative area that you may be in. And I've seen great results. So that's our lineup. Why the Super Patch Company? We have no competition. We're the biggest breakthrough in wellness and performance in 50 plus years. Again, drug-free, clinical trials, you name it, FDA registered, we have it all. And it's very easy to get enrolled. It's $50. So it's 50 pounds if you're in the UK. And once you pay that $50, you get a website, you get $75 worth of patches. So you get a 28 pack of Liberty, a 4 pack of our pain patches. And then in the UK, you must wait 7 days before you can purchase a launch kit. So just make sure you realize that. You can enroll, but then you have to enroll 7 days later with a kit. And the kits are a mega kit, a super patch launch kit, and then also the UK founder kit. Now in Europe, it is €50. And again, you don't have to wait. You can just enroll right away, buy the package right away. It's obviously you can see it there. Anybody that's invited you here can send you all this information. So you have the option of this Super Patch Euro business kit, just a membership, or you can also get a founder pack if they're still available. They may not be available because it's blowing up there so quick. So I don't know if those are still there, because we just had our launch, and we will have a launch in the UK very soon. So what I'm going to do is just stop my share of the screen, and then we can get to some stories here. And thanks again, everyone, for listening. And I hope that helped you with understanding more about our company. So if there's anybody that would like to offer up a testimonial, please do so, and we would appreciate that. So, and while we're waiting on somebody, I can myself just come up with one. So interesting, when you're trying to do this to your family, a lot of times families like, they're not sure or whatever, and that's just typical. But I have my children, and what I didn't realize is I went to put my my little one, she's not little anymore, but to bed. And when I was giving her a kiss, she said, "My patch." And I said, your patch? And she says, "Yeah, in the second drawer." She has a little drawer, very organized. She puts things in their places. And I opened up the drawer, and there was a pack of REM patches. Well, I was not aware that my wife was putting the REM patches on her. And I think if she didn't ask me, she already had it on herself. But if she forgets, she'll ask to get it. So that's just music to my ears, because on her own, she knew she was having, so she would jump in our bed. She would come across, she would jump in our bed. My wife would have to leave our bed and then go in her bed, and then I'd wake up beside Ella. So that's interrupting my wife, interrupting everything. We were hoping to find a solution to that. And sure enough, if she has this REM patch on, she doesn't come to our bedroom anymore. She's knocked out. She's sleeping well. She's loving life. She doesn't look like she has bags under her eyes all the time. You know, it's all experience. That's what it boils down to. So I'm grateful 100% for that, and to be able to have that solution for her. So now when I go in, I'm like, do you have your patch on? Do you need one? And usually she's like, no, it's on already. So how awesome is that? So thank you. That's my story.
Do you know what, Paul? That's one of the things that we often don't think about, isn't it? The benefits that other people get from other people having a good night's sleep. So if your children or somebody you're looking after is having good quality sleep, it means more sleep for yourself as well. So it's often misread or misrepresented, and it's great to hear that.
For sure.
And Evelyn has her hand raised. So
I do.
Evelyn.
Hello. So I need to say that this technology has totally changed my life. Okay. I suffered from migraines from the time I was a child. And 6 years ago, all of a sudden I'm like, and I got started with the company way back 6 years ago. I'm like, I haven't had a migraine in a while. And it was the old technology, but nonetheless, migraines completely gone, like a miracle, because when you suffer with something like that for over 50 years, it's exhausting. Plantar fasciitis completely gone. And then I ended up with osteoarthritis in my hip. I ended up having to get surgery. And recently, not even 6 weeks yet, and the surgeon let me wear my patches through the surgery, and I swear to God, that made the biggest difference. My scar is beautiful. Like most people's are a bit jaggedy. Mine is just beautiful. I'd show you, but it's, in the wrong place. And the pain patch, like the Freedom, I'd be lost without it, because yesterday it rained all day and my whole body was aching. So I put on a Freedom patch and it was like, wow. So sometimes I even forget what I have that's gold, and I forget to put it on until I'm really suffering. So thank you, Super Patch. And thank you for doing this call. Appreciate you both.
Yeah, you're very welcome. There's nothing, I've never suffered from migraines myself, but I know other people have done, and it's a really massively debilitating thing, and it takes people out of life for days on end sometimes. So I'm so grateful to hear your story about how that's helped you. It's truly life-changing, right?
Absolutely, no question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's anyone else, but that's okay. We don't.
Yeah, Barbara has her hand raised and she's unmuted. So Barbara.
Hello. I don't know if I have us visible, but anyway.
We have you.
Hello to everyone. I'm here in the US. Thank you, Paul. My story is about a friend's husband who absolutely refused to try the patches. But then when he did try the patches, he had a huge response to having tremors in his hand. He couldn't even hold a fork to eat. He had the patch on for 15 minutes and the tremors slowed down. The patches now for 4 months, and he has very little to no shaking in his hand. And this was a skeptic. And I just am so thankful that we can help people who have had these problems. He had it for 25 years. So this is such a good product. And I wear about 7 patches a day. So I'm sold. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing that, Barbara. It's always touching, isn't it, when you hear about people having long-term things that get helped in a very short space of time. It really is humbling sometimes to hear the stories. So, Evelyn told me the story before about how she sometimes forgets to take the patches or wear the right things. So I experienced that myself quite recently, because I've had golfer's elbow and tennis elbow in both elbows for a while, having lifted a load of paving slabs a few years back, and I've just lived through the pain, haven't thought much about it. And I was doing an online training session the other day with my fitness coach, and doing loads and loads of press ups. And at the end, I just thought, God, my elbows are so sore today. I know what, I've got these freedom patches that I've been sticking to other people. So I stuck a freedom patch just above the elbow, and within 10 to 15 minutes, oh my goodness, that's completely gone. I can still feel the tension in there, but the pain was completely gone. And I just thought, how stupid have I been to have had these freedom patches in my office for all that time and never used them. So even when Jay brings out a patch to cure stupidity, I'm right in the front of the queue.
Me too. Yeah, it's one of those things, and then it ends up being a kind of habit forming, I guess, right? So, you know, if you just get in that habit of daily changing them, but some we don't need every day. So that's where, like you say, it could build up, and then you go, oh wow, I mean, I have this tool right here, you know, it's like you know, using a rubber hammer and you've got a steel one, you're like, oh gosh, why didn't I just go grab the steel hammer? That works way better.
And Paul, you've been with this company a long time now, and what would be your advice to somebody that's sitting there thinking, do you know what, this sounds ridiculous. I can't comprehend how this thing would work. What advice would you give to the people in that situation where they're thinking, do you know, I've got some chronic issues, I've got this going on, I've been taking drugs, medications, lotions, potions. What would you say to them?
You just have to do it. Try it. You know, I wish I could demo everyone so you felt that amazing craziness, then that would make it a little bit more believable for you. But just understand that we're taking time out of our day every day to come on here just to tell you about something that actually works, that, you know, we're not going to change the formula next week and it doesn't, and you get a 30-day money back guarantee. So why wouldn't you just give it a go, see what it does for you, and then maybe this is what you've been searching for, because a lot of people have been searching for something for years and years, and it seems to be in most cases that this is the catalyst that they've been searching for, and they found now. And now we can all count 40 people that could use this. Like just off the top of our head, I can rhyme off so many people. Just be open to it, try it. There's no drugs, no ingredients. We do worse things to our body with all this other stuff. So why not give it a go?
Perfect. Paul, thank you very much for giving us this information this evening. Thank you very much to the people that shared their stories as well. You're real people, right? Are we paying you a fee to come and act and tell us these things? Absolutely not. And you're just like us, real people with real stories. And you know, Evelyn is a absolutely life-changing. Barbara, thank you very much for sharing your story as well. It's always great to hear about other people with tremors or shakes or some neurological dysfunction. And Paul, thanks for sharing the story about your daughter with her beautiful REM sleep patches. So
no problem.
Thank you very much for joining us live, and enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in the world.